This Mother and Child Hospital is an integral part of a holistic safe motherhood program named Abiye. The one index that is unacceptable is high mortality rate. The other index is high infant mortality, maternal mortality and infant mortality. Conceptually, we had always believed that government and society has some special responsibility for this vulnerable group, pregnant women and infants.
At the advent of the administration of Dr. Mimiko, that was about February 2009, the Nigerian Demographic and Health Survey came up with the report that Ondo State had the worst maternal and child care indices in the whole of the Southwest. And no nation is taken seriously among the committee if you don't take issues of pregnancy and pediatrics, children care seriously.
We put together the Abiye program, which essentially is about registering pregnant women. It's about putting in place a tracking process from pregnancy to delivery. It's about assigning them to facilities closest to them and upgrading these facilities to be able to rise up to challenges of safe delivery when they arise.
I'm here at the Mother and Child Hospital. My wife is to put to bed, and that's why I'm here. So I'm expecting a delivery any moment from now. Yes? Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. That's lovely. Mother and child, you have made it. That's lovely. That's lovely. That's lovely. That's lovely. I'm coming.
I've never seen them, the relatives, when they give them their baby, the way they smile, the way they jump up and sing, that joy is within you. Oh, you've put smiles on this family. Thank God. God has used me to put smiles on them. So that passion is in you.
They display a high level of professionalism, you know. In short, Mother and Child, yeah, you people have done it. That's it.
When we conceived this hospital as a purpose-built facility offering tertiary care to pregnant women and children, and I got my folks together and said, look, we got to build the hospital that in terms of services was the best in Nigeria, in this country. And it was like, why not? It's possible. If we have enough funds, we can build it. And then I went on to say that it must be affordable. It was like, well. Then as affordable as free services, then everybody said, no, it was not possible.
If you want quality health services, you have to pay for it. If you want to give services free, you tend to compromise on quality, or you cannot sustain the quality. But he said no, he wanted the best hospital to match any hospital in the country and beyond, but the services must be free. So that was the first headache we had, because there was no precedence. How do you build a hospital with the best of staff, best of materials, best of equipment, and then people just come in, access the services? So that was the initial dilemma. But I think the value of somebody having a vision is just what it is, a vision. He said, look, Lawal, I'm sure it can be done. Let's just think about it. And that was how it started.
The donor of this state is here, so he held my baby. He was asking me, am I sure you are? Are you sure you are the mother of this baby? I said, yes. He said, wow, you look beautiful.
By the time a woman gets to the age, between the ages of 18, 19 to 40, you find some of them have had 10, 15 pregnancies. Barely a chance of 1 or 2 children surviving. What that means is that they spend a whole lot of their productive, at the peak of their productive energy, going from one pregnancy to the other, going from one sorrow to the other.
In this environment, we have problems of ignorance as well as poverty. To some extent, when we talk about poverty, we can say that the state government is addressing that by having a free facility of this nature. But when we talk about ignorance and some beliefs that we really sometimes find difficult to understand.
Are you ignorant of Mimiko's cardinal points in politics to save life? And he goes a mile further to care for you, making it free, stress-free. You only need to walk up here. You don't crack your brain. So that's why it kills your morale. That God, are these people blind? Are they deaf? Don't they open the radio? Can't they see the campaign? I mean, everywhere is jumping with his vision.
Big picture of Mr. Governor to say that, you know what, go and look at how we're going to reduce maternal mortality, ensure that never will pregnancy be a death sentence in Ondo State. And that's the big picture. So we have no choice. Sat down, looking at it from the public health perspective, then looking at it from, you know what, the complication, how do we address all of it? And then the result, I said, is amazing. The combination has been so exciting.
A few of the private hospitals in Nigeria that have been doing very, very well. And Lawal was with Lagoon, and I got him out of Lagoon.
When I came on board officially in December 2009, we had discussion in October. I had to, relocate from Lagos because I was in private practice in Lagos. It was like a step in the dark into the unknown, so to speak. And many people were like, am I crazy? Why would you leave comfortable practice in Lagos and come to rural Ondo? But they didn't see what I saw, and that was the vision of the governor.
Young men are more amenable to trying out new things. They are more daring, and they can come better than when they are young and have skills. So I deliberately looked out for the type of guys that I think can run this place. What we are doing here has never been done before here. Giving quality services, high quality services.
We have to give God the glory that, we had somebody who would take the qualities on two different people and bring it together to achieve a vision we had. He had the vision. I didn't have the vision. I'm sure neither did the commissioner. But somebody had that vision and he said, look, we need to bring these two together. And then it just made the path easy for us, relatively speaking. So far I'm doing my studies. I've actually sent mails around to everybody. Is there any hospital where we give blood transfusion free of charge? Mr. Governor, this is the only hospital so far. We only depend on voluntary donors.
This is the first hospital on many positive fronts.
Yeah, but that one is special because the commonest cause of death in these children is usually severe malaria, causing anemia, heart failure. So if you can remove, get blood to them, you save a lot of babies. It is doable. We must let the people know. You don't have to pay. The governor again, from the beginning, identified excessive bleeding after delivery, what we call postpartum hemorrhage, as the #1 cause of death. So to manage postpartum hemorrhage, you have to have blood transfusion services available. And when I say available, it's not that you will say, okay, it's there, they have to pay and all that. It defeats the purpose. Because a woman who is bleeding can exsanguinate in less than 10 minutes. We're talking about removing all the impediments in those states. So we have to make sure that issue of blood somehow was taken care of without impacting negatively. So when we started, oh my goodness, we had to plead, cajole, sometimes threaten people to please donate. You're not going to pay, just donate for the sake of your wife. But like I said, the principle of having a blood bank service is just what it says, a bank. You must have cash. You must have blood there. And from the very first day we started work here, we had to have blood available because we started seeing patients. Anything could have happened. So the first thing we did was I was imploring my staff. I became a donor just to lead the way. investment in staff was, I think, perhaps one of the most important pillars. So what we did was that we made the staff realize that this is a special project. There are special people having a special impact in the state. And I think that's made up for the humongous workload that they had to deal with. So they realized that actually this is a revolution in the health industry.
We owe our generation the responsibility to prove that we can run public institutions that will take care of our people. So you are pioneers. What you are doing is revolutionary.
Unprecedented.
And people are already acknowledging it, not only in Nigeria, but globally. So you are part of a force that history will record. So I want to encourage you to keep working. Don't mind what anybody says. Just walk and walk. It is God that blesses, and I'm sure He will bless you.
And I remember Mr. Governor asking us when we were brainstorming about the process, and I was like, look, how do we deal with the volume of patients that are going to come here? Yes, the staff are going to be incentivized, but they can only do so much. So I have a background being in the private sector of working with protocols. So I just said, look, all we need to do is just train them on protocols. Let everybody know what is expected of he or she.
What is happening here is truly phenomenal with all sense of modesty. And we are leveraging on this success to replicate it in other centers. For example, the protocol management here, the drug procurement and distribution system, we have trained all other facilities to key into all of this. And we are also training and retraining our staff, not only in terms of their skills and knowledge, but in terms of a paradigm shift in their mindset, because ultimately this is what will drive a system like ours.
Protocol makes chaos work in the sense that for any system to function properly, a prerequisite has to be laid down protocols.
There's no darkness at night. Everywhere just like a day. Èmi tí mo wà níbí tí mo dúró níwájú yín. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn dókítà ṣe wà lẹ́yìn mi náà jẹ́ fún dókítà níbi iná, ibi iṣẹ́ ìmọ́lẹ̀. Ló jẹ́ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé tí àwọn dókítà bá ti ń ṣe lọ tí iná bá ti kú, èmi náà ti rally round lọ tán ká tún lè ní ìgbàlà níbẹ̀ kí ìmọ́lẹ̀ lè wà.
One of the major challenges we had was the issue of power. I had to research on solar power. I researched on UPS inverter batteries. And I realized that the most appropriate was the UPS battery inverter system.
This is inverter, very mighty inverter, and it is 60 kVA. We have 60 battery, very, very mighty one.
An integral part of the Abiye program is the transportation component. Ambulances and tricycle ambulances in the rural areas that actually are mobile hospitals of sorts, because deliveries have been taken in some of these tricycle ambulances. Deployment of tricycle ambulances all over the rural areas, we think ultimately we remove that barrier of public transportation to get to facilities. Any maternal death to be reported. And we hope that from the mass and body of statistics we get, we will be able to clearly delineate the real causes of this level of ignorance. Where do people actually die? What are the things we can do about it? And very soon, we have, for example, we are going to have a sensitization seminar or stakeholders forum for all faith, all churches, mosques, those who run fake clinics and all of that, sensitizing them to the need to get skilled hands in all of these places, and for them to know appropriate time to refer and where to refer cases. Ultimately, we think we'll be able to solve all of this problem.
Though we started as the Apex Referral Center for the Abiye Safe Motherhood program for Ondo State, we've grown to be an all-comers affair, because we may well be the only hospital in Nigeria and beyond that caters for pregnant women and children age of 5, 100% free of charge, regardless of their social status, ethnicity, or place of residence.
Coming from being the worst and then to the best, you feel like this is dream come true, a mission accomplished, and you feel so excited that finally we're there.
I make bold to say, anybody that ends up here, he will have to succeed. He will be forced to succeed, because the governor will be on his back. And the same way he did with me, this is what I want. Look for a solution. It's the same way he'll probably do with Dr. Akinton.
Here is someone who has already set a standard. So taking over from him will definitely give you some sleepless time. But the good thing for me is that I've been part of the system. And I think having observed the way things have been done, having been part of that system, part of that team, I really think that taking over, moving on after him, is something that will not be too difficult. Moreover, that he's not really leaving the system. He's moving on to another hospital. And so he's always there.
We keyed into the National Health Insurance Scheme because that money was there, federally controlled. So they give us money for taking care of patients registered under the scheme. So we take that as part of the money to supplement what government is giving us. We looked into the issue of being research friendly. That because there are some institutions that actually pay money, give grants, research grants, when they know that you have a system that will be research friendly. So as we speak, we affiliate with London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and they give us money to take care of any patient that bleeds excessively in pregnancy. So that is an added fund to what the state is giving us. And then 3, we said, okay, what else do we have that nobody else has? That we see volume, we see plenty of patients. Let's turn to our advantage. Let's make this center a training center so that anybody who wants to learn how to take deliveries will have to come here. So they will pay to learn how to take deliveries because we have the patients there, 20 every day. You want to know how to deliver, please enter the labor room. You will be fed up. After you spend 1 week here, you would have, that's like 140 deliveries. But they will pay. So at the end of the day, the patient is not paying. It is that person seeking the knowledge. So now we've been accredited by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, which is the apex regulatory body for clinical practice, to start running training programs that people will have to pay for. So that's going to bring in funds. In 2-3 years' time, the state will only need to provide 50% of the financing for this hospital. And that is a step to having complete autonomy. And again, perhaps that is what, it mystifies the skeptics that how have they been doing it, And mind you, even after Mimiko goes, this hospital is not likely to just close shop because already we're a recognized brand. And we know we're on the right track. Mr. Governor has shown it is doable. Now we have other governors sending emissaries, delegates from other states to find out how we've been able to do it, so that they can replicate it in their states. So I'll be surprised if any governor, any aspirant, any politician comes and says he wants to stop what we're doing here. Don't forget the issue of sustainability has been taken care of. We now know the cost of care. We're now bringing in revenue. So we'll probably make it easier for the next person to say, okay, instead of paying 10,000 naira to each coffer, let the government pay 5,000, raise the rest, and we just raise the rest.
For us, it's been a very successful story. We feel fulfilled. And as you must have seen, that this effect of the services we have here have been truly profound, not only in terms of quantum of patients that they have had to take care of here, but in terms of quality of service and in terms of efficient application of resources. That is, you can give affordable health care without compromising quality.
In fact, our governor is a mass. Tori is a man of. I don't meet him. In fact, he's a wonderful governor.
What has continued to guide me is that yes, Mr. Governor wanted the best run hospital in the country, providing free services. And I'm glad that in 2 years, I was able to make his vision a reality.
Transformation is about risks, it's about new thinking. And when it's new thinking, every new thinking carries a risk element. And you must be daring. You must dare to be different. You must take risks. Of course, there was a possibility that if all of this had failed, we will be at the receiving end of criticism from the system. So we took the risk, and we knew that you cannot bring new things about until you engage in new thinking and new way of doing things. So from the beginning, I was determined to see this through. I was determined to allow them to reach for the depth of their creativity to be able to put all of this together.
Send their photos to them.